looks like that we're getting a brand new Call of Duty early, ladies and gentlemen. The homie Trump said, psych, Uncle Donnie beefing with everybody, okay? Uncle Donnie ended up sending a 50% extra bonus tip to China for their goods and services, and China, they're like, bro, we love working, but we don't want to get tipped for that. So, you know, they are saying psych to saying psych. In other words, they're not gonna say psych no more. Bruh. So yeah, the markets are tanking big time. We got a brand new patch notes. I got a video that I want to share with you. Minus 28 billion right there, minus 45 billion for that brother out here, minus 130 billion for that brother. Okay, definitely drop a like on this video. I mean, if you're new, you do not have to subscribe though, but like a video, you know, send a prayer out, guys. And you know, we're gonna say thank you to the homie JD real quick. Otherwise, you already know he's gonna say, but did you say thank you? So we're gonna say thank you real quick. Also, all weekend long, we're selling popcorn for everybody. That's gonna be in the comment section for $1.50. Get yours fast, otherwise they might also get hit with a tariff, and instead of being for $1.50, they may be for $100. Roll it.
Thanks, Karoline. On the president's threat yesterday on social media to increase tariffs against China by an additional 50% in response to their retaliation, has he signed anything in terms of an executive order, any documentation around that? Will that additional 50% go into effect tomorrow?
They will be going into effect at 12:01 a.m. tonight, so effectively tomorrow. Yes.
Okay. So making sure it's not at midnight, but midnight 1, just to make sure we're like in the next following day, right? Just to make sure. Okay, no, I like that. I like that. You know, making sure, double checking. That's good. That's good. Okay.
Spoke to the president about this, and he believes that China wants to make a deal with the United States. He believes China has to make a deal with the United States. It was a mistake for China to retaliate. The president, when America is punched, he punches back harder. That's why there will be 104% tariffs going into effect on China tonight at midnight. But the president believes that she and China want to make a deal. They just don't know how to get that started. And the president also...
We don't know how to get that started, so we're going to be sending another 50% tip out there. Guys, I'm not talking about a tip that you give in a restaurant, okay? This is a different kind of tip, brothers. This is a different kind of tip, my brothers and sisters. But, roll it.
So wanted me to tell all of you that if China reaches out to make a deal, he'll be incredibly gracious, but he's going to do what's best for the American people.
So China has to call first?
The Chinese want to make a deal, they just don't know how to do it, but the president will be implementing these 104% tariffs on China tonight.
Under what conditions might he consider lowering tariffs on China at this point?
It would be imprudent of me to tell you those conditions here from the podium. I do just want to point out one thing, that the president, everybody in Washington, whether they want to admit it or not, knows that this president is right when it comes to tariffs and when it comes to trade. In fact, Democrats have long said that the United States of America has been ripped off by the countries around the world. They just don't want to admit it now because it's President Trump who is saying that. In June of 1996, Nancy Pelosi spoke on the House floor. She urged her colleagues at the time to fight against the status quo.
Damn. Okay, so that was like almost like give or take 2 months before I was brought into the you know, Earth server. Okay, that is crazy. Okay, crazy indeed, crazy indeed.
Trade policies that had contributed to America's trade deficit with China. In fact, Nancy Pelosi said, "How far does China have to go? How much more repression? How big a trade deficit? How many jobs have to be lost for the American workers? How much dangerous proliferation has to exist before members of this House of Representatives will say, I will not endorse the status quo." Those are the words of Nancy Pelosi in 1996. Well, President Trump is finally answering her call 27 years later. Nancy Pelosi can thank President Trump today for the 104% retaliatory tariff that will be going into effect on China. In 2007, Chuck Schumer spoke of our nation's crippling trade deficit, saying these are the kinds of records the American people don't want us to be breaking. The administration needs to move beyond words, take action now to reverse a trend that threatens our prospects for future economic...
Dog, like everything, everything's gonna get super expensive, bruh. Like, and the stock market is dipping, but hey, man, I know like most of you don't care about it. Some of you do care about it, but here's the thing, man. Like, markets are plummeting big, okay? They said $11 trillion were lost a couple of days ago. Now it's probably like up in the 20 trillion or some shit like that is what I'm hearing. And the market started to recover, but then, you know, the homie Trump was like, let's, instead of making a 54% tip, let's make it 104% tip. Let's send that right now, you know, to China, and make sure like their one no longer be number one. One number one or USD number one. I want to know from you guys in the comments. Okay, but
all eyes are on the new tariffs that dropped from Trump tonight, which have also been dropping the markets. So this backlash, what happened today, was up and down, while still down trillions overall since this all kicked in middle of last.
Buy high, sell low, ladies. Nah, man. No, buy low, sell high. I mean, truth be told, though, like a lot of billionaires. I believe I forgot his name. I forgot Bill Ackman. Yeah, Bill Ackman. He's also like pretty mad, and a lot of like analysts. Okay, pause. Analysts are also talking about the markets can dip even more, like 20% more. And truth be told, though, like if you're a long-term investor, that's actually pretty good. That's pretty good, though. But here's the thing: if the markets tumble 20% more, a lot of people gonna lose money. Why? Because people gonna panic sell. So that's the truth, though. A lot of people already are losing money, and if it dips more, which is very, very likely, doesn't matter like what I think or what you think, it's just very likely. But as soon as we have good news, it's gonna recover. As soon as, let's just say like tomorrow China comes out and they're like, okay, let's make a deal, or let's just say Trump backs down and says that, okay, so we're gonna take our tip back, we're gonna take the tariffs back. Yeah, the market's gonna start climbing, just like how they started climbing yesterday. They shot up like they instantly started shooting up based off of a rumor, but then we found out it was fake news. Markets dipped, but then they started climbing back up still. And then this 50% extra tip bonus hit. This patch note came out, and then it started dipping again, right? So the market's probably gonna fall even more. But if you're a long-term investor, that's good news, though. You want to buy low, and then just stay in the market and sell high. The only thing that could be a bit of a doozy or a downer is how long. Nobody knows how long this is gonna last. I mean, it can last like another week, maybe another year. Yeah, nobody knows. Nobody really knows for how long this is gonna get dragged on. For how long this is gonna get dragged on for, nobody got a clue on that one. But
last week, and then by the end of it, you're gonna see sinking to new lows.
It is 3 a.m.
Okay, let me actually check this.
You're gonna see sinking to new lows.
It is 3 a.m. in Beijing, where, according to the White House, in just 9 hours, the world's second biggest economy will be blasted by President Trump's tariff bazooka.
We're living in crazy town right now, and the market...
Yeah, they're acting like that they're gonna get nuked in 9 hours. I mean, metaphorically speaking, yeah, bro, that's what it is. I get it. But, like, Trump's bazooka, say psych, bro.
Be blasted by President Trump's tariff bazooka.
We're living in crazy town right now, and the markets are swinging wildly. There's extreme volatility.
After trillions of dollars wiped out in a days-long tariff spiral, U.S. markets are starting to bounce back.
Obviously the markets remain volatile.
Stocks are surging today following a volatile session yesterday.
The tariff turmoil is prompting economists to revise up their recession probabilities.
You outlined just how dramatic the open has been in Europe this morning. It's not overstated.
Okay, so we got CNN, of course, as you guys would like to say, fake news. Then we also got BBC News, aka Pause, aka the British Broadcasting News. Okay, so that's the BBC News, okay?
It to say it's carnage or a bloodbath.
Carnage, bloodbath, new lows after what were new lows. So, the old expression about not being a day trader, that's generally a negative because you have to look at long-term realities and not the hourly reverberations. But if you were a day trader, today was another bad day, coming off several days where we've lost over $6 trillion. I mentioned to you coming up, and you see it on your screen, that we have this MAGA Buyer's Remorse segment where we look at, in a special report, how some prominent MAGA voices are talking about the millions they're losing and telling their audiences about that. So we're going to get to that, which has political implications. But first, as we're going to continue to do as long as this is the big problem, self-induced by Trump in America, I'm going to show you the numbers. The top 500 companies, down 12% since Thursday, losing over another point today.
Now, truth be told, though, I totally understand, because when I first started investing, bro, even losing 2% was a big deal. I have been investing in the markets for almost a decade, okay? And I know some of you would be like, hey man, you're just a cat. And I get that, because some of you guys out there may have been investing for 20 years, 30 years. So these are rookie numbers. I'm working on it, okay? I'm trying to get my game up too, okay? I get it. But yeah, but the point is that I've been investing for almost a decade. What about the new cats? Okay, to some of you, I would be the new cat because the decade is not long enough. But what I'm saying here is that what about like the new people, right? I remember when I first started investing, like 2% down, 1% down, bro, that was bad, bro. That like, so I totally understand, but I have been investing for almost a decade. 11% is nothing, bro. I've even seen like 40% down on my money, bro. I've seen 50% down on my money too, but I still like stayed in, and then bro, like it shot up. You just gotta like buy low, right? Like buy the dips. The term to describe this is dollar cost averaging, DCA. You always want to DCA. That's the principle that you probably hear all the time, and that's something that I hear all the time. And statistically speaking, timing the market is bad. Time in the market is the best thing, meaning that you just stay in the market. But yeah, I know some people are day traders as well. Some people do short the market. So for them, it's everybody got their own strategy. So do whatever works for you. But the thing is that 11% is nothing. It can go even lower. Now, if the markets go down 40%, then we're talking like actual panic. I mean, already people are panicking for sure. 11% is nothing, man. If it dips down to 20 more %, yo, you gotta start buying like crazy. But even right now, for example, so the markets, let's just say this was the lowest point on April 7th. Right now we're here. So you can see like it shot up, and the reason it shot up right here is because the investors are eager, you know. Keep it in your pants, pause, okay? But this tells us that the markets are very, very eager, and as soon as we heard like the good news or the rumor that Trump is gonna pause for 90 days. Here's the thing though, even if that rumor was true, he's gonna pause it for 90 days. After 90 days, the market was still gonna crash, right? It's like, yeah, man, we gotta work it together, people. So just gotta stay in the market. But I mean, this is not the game. This is not how the game works. You know, panic selling will always be there because the new people, the newcomers, they always buy high. And people usually buy when it's green. Technically it makes sense, right? You want to buy when it's good, you want to sell when it's bad, but the market rewards those that actually buy when everybody's panicking and selling when everybody wanna buy, right? Like you want to buy when nobody wanna buy. Essentially, that's the goal. That's the rule from even Warren Buffett. And you may have heard it that Warren Buffett, and this is insane though. Yeah, this is insane. So before the market started crashing, and this will make you think though, right? Because I know some of you would be like, hey man, the markets is gambling, this or that. And yeah, you got your belief, I don't think it's gambling. It can be gambling if you're like daily trading in, I mean, there are ways to trade it, and if you're like if you do not know anything about the stock market, if you do not know anything about like the stock, you're daily trading, then it can be gambling. But if you're like making mathematical decisions, you're calculating, or you're doing your calculated decisions, then it's not gambling, right? Especially long-term investing, it's not. You just gotta invest in good companies. But here's the deal though, we heard that Warren Buffett actually, he is sitting on $300 billion of cash. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. He pulled his money out before all of this started happening. Yeah, we had rumors of, hey, it could be a recession, and yeah, I mean, listen, man, the writing was on the wall. So I guess the good rule here would be you gotta start investing when he invests, right? But even then, I mean, to be honest, even he can be wrong. But it's just that once the whales start to invest, that's when like the market's gonna start to shoot up though.
The Dow Jones down 11% since Thursday and losing just about a point today. As the House now has more Republicans who want to potentially defy Trump by trying to limit at least his tariff power. And remember, it is rare in the last 70 plus days that I come on the air, any of us anchors come on and tell you about Republicans wanting to limit anything by Trump. But this one apparently a bridge too far for some. Remember, over in the Senate, 7 Republicans have already signed on, specifically put their names on the line in their home state and saying, yeah, even if Trump is popular, or they're worried about a primary or popular in a red state, they sign on to at least check the trade authority and what many see as costly tariffs. Okay, both parties also grilling Trump's trade representative today. This was from a Republican senator.
I understand that you are the trade rep. So if you own this decision, then I'll look to you to figure out if we're going to be successful. If you don't own the decision, I'm just trying to figure out who's...
Oh man, this brother needs some chalky milk right now. I feel you, homie. I feel you, man. Like, damn, man. Yo, like, it would be crazy if we get into actual recession. Some people already are believing that we are in a recession. Some are saying that we're in a recession, but we don't even know about it. If this China trade, US-China trade battle, you know, tipping each other, tariffing each other, stays on, bro, yeah, we are in a, then we really are in a recession, dog.
Whose throat I get to choke if it's wrong.
Who gets choked? Meanwhile, Trump's Treasury Secretary was at Mar-a-Lago this weekend. There's reports on what the goals were there. Politico saying the secretary's view is the markets will keep melting unless you shift. You have to talk about negotiating. That would be an off-ramp to the current plan, by the way. And quote, what the end game is. We've got top CEOs saying it's a moment to own up to a colossal mistake and change course, or America will face ruin for years to come.
Dang.
Another mega donor, super influential Republican, Ken Langone, says the whole thing is just BS. Another very influential Trump supporter who knows his way around business, whether you want to hand the keys to the business people at all times. This is a business problem we're facing. He is a supporter. Yeah. And he just says, look, it was a huge mistake. Let's fix it. Elon Musk using his power to directly appeal to Trump to again. Bro,
he gotta stop raising like those fingers like that, because he did that on stage and then people memed it to death, bro. You know that he was I'm not gonna do it, but you know what I'm saying, right? He did that twice, and right now of course he's raising two fingers and pointing it in the sky. Maybe he's pointing like to, let's just say, he's like, okay, let's get some chalky milk together, homie Trump, or yeah, I guess like, yeah, for Elon, he would be the homie, right? But Uncle Donnie is like, nah, bro, let's not, let me just say psych. Let me, market loses 6 trillion, damn. 11 trillion was said like just the other day. So 6 more trillion today. Can a brother just get like 1 billion or something like that, man? Is that too much to ask? You know what I'm saying? Like the video if you deserve to get that billion, because truth be told though, I do believe that you deserve to get that billion. Tax free on top, bro.
And try to at least back down, back off, or completely reverse course if they can get him to do so. And this brings us to a figure you may recognize from many past Trump stories, Peter Navarro. His expertise or his portfolio, he says, is trade. This is his thing. He's one of the lead advisors on the tariffs. But Elon Musk is saying he is, quote, dumber than a sack of bricks, and a, quote, moron. Those are Musk's terms, not our terms in the news business. And Mr. Navarro has been on this program before and is welcome to come back. We've talked about many topics, but this was a conflict that involved a lot of personal attacks. Mr. Navarro saying Elon Musk is nothing but a car assembler, not a real car creator. The truth is that in the role as lead trade advisor, Mr. Navarro has been kind of more in the thick of it now than ever. As you may recall, he's been in the thick of many Trump stories. But his approach on tariffs is also drawing.
Okay, let's actually get down to this one. So let's see Canada's response. So Mélanie Joly, esti calice la, tabarnak la, la. Okay, so baba les couilles la, Okay, let's roll it.
In the United States, are you talking with the Trump administration? Is there any hope for a last-minute reprieve?
Nope. Nope.
Well, at this point, there's no how can I say, there are ongoing discussions, but there's no ongoing negotiation.
Yo, what? Hey, yo, what? Yo, you got my dog looking like that the way you said negotiation, though. Yo, damn.
Was at NATO last week, saw Marco Rubio, Secretary of State.
Negotiation, NATO, okay.
Had some constructive conversations, but at the same time, we're still under tariffs for steel and aluminum. We're still under tariffs because of also the auto sector.
Because of Uncle Donnie,
as you mentioned, Jake, we just imposed new tariffs for all non-USMCA compliant cars coming to Canada. And also what we're under is that 25% tariff based on.
Yeah, okay, so this is Canada, right? But on a second thought, it's over. Yo, imagine, right, like Amazon, most of this junk that we buy, I mean, at least I buy, every time I buy, like, it says made in China. Yo, all that junk but I get doubled in prices, right? Alibaba, AliExpress, yo, Temu, oh man. Yo, Temu is gonna be considered luxury. If you buy on Temu, yeah, you gotta be rich, bro. Now you gotta be rich, man. Temu items would be luxury items for sure. Now Alibaba, AliExpress. How many of you guys used or use daily, or not daily, but like occasionally. Let me just put it that way. Yeah, if you shop there, well, get ready.
Fentanyl crossing the Canadian border, going into the US. Well, we know that actually there's less than 1% of all fentanyl going into the US that comes from Canada. So we know that tariffs are a tax on hardworking Americans. I was watching your report. We know that it is a tax on Americans' grocery bill. It is a tax when also Americans go at the gas.
I wanna know from my U.S. American viewers, like, your thoughts real quick. And mind you, again, we're selling popcorn for $1.50 in the comment section for everybody. For $1.50, but it's limited time offer though. It's limited time offer because after the tariffs they may raise. So I want to know your thoughts. And yeah, while you're down there, you can grab your popcorns as well. Okay, popcorn on me. But up for $1.50 though. For $1.50, guys.
And more than that, what we're seeing now, it is also just a double whammy because not only is it a tax, not only will people pay more, but at the same time, they're losing more because markets are in turmoil and people are losing money for their retirement. So nobody's winning out of this trade war. And the first impacted are those watching us right now, the hardworking American people.
So today, a journalist asked White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt about the timing of any tariff.
And if you did not know, I'm in the Canadian server. Even I'm losing because, yeah, right? 66% capital gain tax. Plus the market's tumbling. Plus 53% income tax. Oh, shit. Oh my god, bro. They got me. I wish I could say psych, bro. I know you guys want me to say psych, but no psych, boys. That is the Canadian dream right there, man. That's a Canadian dream, man. Uncle Donnie gotta do something, man. We gotta rely on Uncle Donnie, bro. Like, gotta rely on Uncle Donnie, cause bruh, like, bruh.
Negotiations. Take a listen.
Is the president operating on any sort of a timeline or deadline where he wants this completed by?
Well, we always move at Trump speed here at the White House, which is incredibly fast. All options are on the table for each country, but again, these are going to be tailor-made deals. They are not going to be off-the-rack deals, as the president has called it.
So she says that they're moving at Trump speed. What do you make of that? Is it possible that there will be speedy trade negotiations?
I don't think so.
We're in a campaign right now. The elections in Canada are on April 28th. The Prime Minister Carney, and President Trump had a first phone call. We said that we would be ready to negotiate.
And you know, the craziest thing is that, we're having elections on April 28th. And truth be told though, bro, like, I've spoken to my homies, and all my homies are like scratching their head. They're like, okay, should we vote him? Should we vote him? It's like, we don't know, bro. Like, it's crazy. Because everyone is like, everyone is bad, bro. It's like, Canadian dream be bad right now, man. Damn, don't even know who to vote. I mean, a lot of people are leading towards, I should not say a lot of people because, it's, we don't know. Truth be told though, we don't know. I guess either... Based off of what I'm seeing, I guess either Pierre Poilievre will win, conservative, right? Or Mark Carney, which would be the big brother of Trudeau, so he's gonna be liberal. That's the Liberal Party. So yeah, it's very, very tough to say who's gonna win. Before all of this beef started, right? Before the homie Trump started beefing with Canada and everybody, all the world, right? Yeah, it felt like that Pierre Poilievre would win. But then you see like Trudeau. Like the polls started going up. It's like, bruh. Collectively, Canada as a whole, there would be like maybe 1% or 2% of people that would think that he's good for Canada. But I mean, that's their opinion, right? I'm not looking to beef or anything like that. But yeah, over 90+% of people were like, oh yeah, Trudeau ruined Canada. Everybody you would ask, they were like, nah, Trudeau ruined Canada. Trudeau ruined Canada, right? Everybody would say that. But after Uncle Donnie started beefing with Canada, 37% were the polls. Now, the data is very, very limited. That's the data. That's like the study. So take it with a grain of salt. But there is some truth to it that a lot of people started saying that, Trudeau, he needs to win back again. I'm like, bro, like, come on, man. But then Mark Carney comes in, like the Undertaker in it. in Canada, and now it seems like that he can win though. It's very, very tough. It's yeah, it's gonna be a close call
after the election, which are basically in less than 3 weeks. At the same time, we want to make sure that we can negotiate not only on trade but also on security, and we need a full partnership. But at the end of the day, what we know, Jake, is the relationship between Canada and the U.S. will...
Pause. Did she say Dick? Wait, what? Like, maybe his name was John Dickerson. Yeah, no offense to anybody with the name of Dickerson. Hey, man, we love you out here, okay? Pause. Not that way, but we love you as a homo sapien. Let me just put it that way. But she literally just called him Dick. Wait, what? Say psych, man.
Will never be the same. We know, Jake, is the relationship between Canada and the U.S. will never be the same. The trust was affected by what happened. This trade war was launched out of nowhere against your best ally, friend, and neighbor. We want to make sure that we can be constructive, but we're not naive neither. We know we have to protect our own jobs and our own economy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Canadian dollar dropping big right now. But guys, did you see this video that was released of this alien twat? If not, click on this video on the screen and I'll see you right there. Check it out, man, by clicking on this.